Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Sorry for being late. Trying to get back in the groove a little bit here. It's been a couple weeks, and you know how it is. You get rusty. So let's check out and see who we have with us this morning. Da Vinci, Reth, as always. Penguin Makers, Bearded, Printer, Tin Talon, Pez Liz, good morning. Howie, Kenny. Yeah. Regular folks. I love it. Welcome back. Thanks, Penguin. Yeah, it's been a little bit. I mean, honestly, it's still a little tough to be here today, but we're here. I got to get this project finished and off the workbench so we can move on to the next thing. I'm ready to move. I can't be playing with the legacy fork forever, so hopefully we'll get it to a place that maybe we get a first print. We'll see. We'll go as long as we can today. I do have family in town for a big celebration on Friday, so I need to get through as much as we can this morning and then spend some time with them. Regardless of what happens, we will stream tomorrow, do a couple of hours tomorrow if we don't get finished today. So we'll see what happens. Thanks, Liz, and thanks for being a member for 3 months. Yeah, it's nice to be back. Get back in the groove and get back to normal. All right, should we check out the project? It's been a little while. I think an update is in order. Grooves can be tricky. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So let's check out where we are, and we'll go a quick overview on the project so far. So I do have it running. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, we have right here, we have Clipper up and running. Happy Gryffindor Pride Day. I wish I was more of a Harry Potter fan to understand what you mean. But I realize those are two of the houses. I don't know what Pride Day is, though. Regardless, this is the project. So you can see sort of some interesting things going on here. I did make a panel for the big hole that goes in the bottom of this halo panel, this lower beefy 3mm thick steel. I did design and print a cover for that so we're not dropping things down in here. I do need to modify it a little more. The edge of this needs to extend a little bit further. It does try to fall down into the space, and so it's not perfect. I just need to see here the corners kind of down inside. I just need to extend that out a little bit, and then we'll be good to go there. So once that happens, I'll post it up on Printables and all the other places, and we'll get that out there for the community. But I do want to make that 1 or 2 changes there to make it a little better. What else did I do? I'm using an old bamboo plate here as protection, just in case we have, you know, some bed scratches or anything like that while we're tuning this thing. I don't want to ruin a nice new dark rock bed. So this one is old. It's I've used this since, I don't know, 4 years ago, I think, probably. And a lot of the PEI is starting to come off of it. It's not usable anymore without a lot of trouble. So we'll just sacrifice this to the printing gods if need be. I've also added on a bunch of bracing. So if you haven't seen the photos, you could see here on the side of this thing, added in a bunch of steel braces. I was critiqued over and over and over again, telling me that I need to paint these so that they don't rust. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they make clear paint. So these are coated with clear enamel so they do not rust. I cleaned them really well, painted them with 3 layers of clear enamel. They should not rust. I just wanted the raw look of the bracing there. So Mr. Kevinar, thanks for being a member for 3 months. So both sides have these braces on there, and the rear panel also has bracing very similar to there. I did not get braces for the top, but I was talking to some folks yesterday, and they suggested that I do. We can do some bracing on the top, which is not a bad idea, and make it super really rigid. We would have bracing on, what, 3, 4, 5 sides at that point. and then nothing for the front here because we are going to do a click-clack door, and I've got that over to the side. Hey, Bearded Printer, thanks for the $5. Every little bit helps out, especially with the next project coming up. So we need to figure out what that looks like on the next project, what we want to build. I've got a few options, and we'll get into it a little bit here. I just want to finish the overview of what's going on. There are these little gnats, like, all over the place today, and I don't know why, but they're hatching or something. They're around now that it's warming up, and they're driving me nuts. They're all over the place. All right, so this is the machine. One thing I need to get done is figuring out all of the setup for Clicky. If you remember from a couple of weeks ago, I was having trouble getting Clicky to trigger properly. I figured out it was probably because the wiring I was using to connect the magnets to the tool head was probably a little small. I think I was using 28 gauge. I removed everything, reprinted the tool head, and installed 22 gauge, which is a little bit thicker wire, with the hope that the magnets in the carriage itself would make better contact with the wiring. So I was getting intermittent connections there, and now it seems like that works pretty okay. What I need to do is figure out the macros. I have not used Clicky before, and so figuring out the dock location and that kind of stuff is new to me. And so we're gonna try to figure it out real time. The other small issue, not a big deal at all, is the lighting. You can see that I do have 2 LED strips up here at the top, but they're not working. So I don't understand why, and we'll have to figure that one out as well. Otherwise, good to go. I did redesign the carriage, that's why I reprinted it. I added in some extra heat certs to accept A5T a little better and make this a little bit more rigid, but you can still see some flex there in the tool head, and that's just going to be one of the downsides to using a linear rod setup like that. These are only 8mm rods. I think if we use something like a 12 or a 15, you get a lot more rigidity, but even there, you'd still have some flex with the torque on the tool head like that. So this will never be, a perfect input shaping machine, but this is a developmental machine. Excuse me. So right now it's set up as legacy fork, but I fully intend to use this as much as I want to, and then if there's another cool Trident-based project, we could swap this gantry out for a more traditional Trident gantry and do something else with it. Would not be a big deal at all. So those are my thoughts. That's kind of the overview of the machine. Let's take a look at fluid, and see how we're doing. So in here you can see, hey, good morning, Acid Fly. In here you can see we've got all the things working. What I don't have, and you probably don't need to see me, let's put this back on the, let's see, which camera, this guy, let's swap this to this guy. You probably want to see the machine. Why are you not working? Well, I guess it won't let me change it. OBS is being mean today. I guess you got to see me. But either way, this is what we're doing here. And I need to get from this over to Clicky Probe. So there's some really cool documentation in here that does well at walking you through what you need to do. So this is where I left off and connected wiring here. So use a thicker wire that seems to help.
Thanks for the
we'll
sub.
see. Hey, Steve. Good morning. Thanks for being a member for 6 whole months. That's really awesome. Egg, bacon, ham, and cheese sandwich for breakfast. Nice, man. Yeah, I think we're going to try to go to IHOP here in a little bit. It'll probably be more of a brunch by the time we get there, but hey, Shrimp Father. So going through these, I just copied and pasted all of this into the config here. And what is it? Variables. There we go. So all of this is in here. I made initial changes to try to get things to where I think they should be. But that's what we're going to go through right now is try to finalize what this looks like, getting things moving correctly, picking up the probe correctly. And if we can do that, we should be pretty close to being able to do a print. So we'll get as far as we can with a makeup day tomorrow if we have to. Okay, so first things first, copy and paste all of these things in the config. And I've done that. Next, it says this example uses the probe connect to the pin. Please update to mine. I've done that already. So all of these probe variables are in the config as well. And also make sure the horizontal move Z on the bed mesh and QGL is high enough the probe will not hit the bed. Needs to be at least 8. Okay, I think mine is 10. So just to verify, we can go into here. My probe is up this way. So there's my probe pin, good to go. I've got all these other macros in here. I was thinking about using the BD sensor, but I could not get it to work. So we can just delete all that now. And same with this. Shorter config is a better config. All right. They said the bed mesh, horizontal move Z. Here we go. That needs to be 10 according to this. Yeah, so bed mesh, horizontal move, Z10. Hey, Stuart Fisher. Good morning. All right, so we can save that. And then what's the other one? Probing speed between 3 and 10. I don't know. Why don't we just split the difference and do like 7? Where do I put that? Speed? What is it? Probing speed between 3 and 10. To probe speed. I've got 5. Let's shoot the gap and we'll go 7. And then what else? May experiment to see what the better speed is. Confirm. If you're using the probe input, that'll pull up. Yeah, we're not doing that. May need to switch. Nope, we're good there as well. I tested that just before stream. So it does trigger like it's supposed to trigger. There's now an arrow on the probe telling you where should the switch pole be to have the correct opposite. Okay. Then we have this documentation here. If I wanted to use my probe as a Z end stop, I kind of do. And so I've already got that open here. It says some of the drawbacks will be the Z offset will change when you swap nozzles. I don't really plan to swap nozzles. I'm not one of those folks that swap a lot of nozzles around. I have multiple machines. Some have large nozzles, some have smaller. So depending on what I'm printing and what I need my nozzle size to be, I'll choose a different printer to do that. So we're going to stick with what is in there. I believe it is a 0.4. Don't really remember, but that's what it looks like. All right, so if you're currently using this, you need to disable it. Okay, I don't think I'm currently using it because we haven't set anything up yet. Excuse me. So in my clicky variables, I'll tell you what, let's do this cool thing here so we can do this, and then we'll do this. That way we can see side by side. All right, so save this, close this guy. It says go into clicky variables. All right. The Z and stop X and Y need to be 1000. So these here should be 1000. And I'm just going to comment this so I don't lose it. If I ever want to revert, I'll be able to do so without having to remember what my in-stop position used to be. All right, something like that. Save that. And then we're doing replace that with 0. Oh, okay. Read better. All right, so those should be 0. Why change it to 0 on both? Well, if a separate ZN stop is in use, specify the coordinates of that there. So we're asking questions but not providing answers. Okay. That's weird. All right. Open your printer config, comment out or replace in Z-stepper with my in-stop pin with probe Z. Okay. Come back up here. All right, so replace my in-stop pin with probe Z. And the shortcut for that one is just control with the question mark key or / key. Hey, Pat Racer. Good morning. Right. Comment out the position in stop. So we'll do some of that. Set your probe offsets in probe section to these numbers. Those are weird numbers. I think I'm going to just use the numbers that make sense for where my probe is located. So that's my Y and then my Z. Sure. Calibrate your Z offset the old-fashioned paper way. Make sure to save to probe and not save to in-stop. Okay. How do I do that though without an in-stop? That's so weird. Probe Z offset by filing manually. Enjoy. All right, I feel like this is missing a lot of detail on what I'm supposed to do. Woo woo, delivery is 3 stops away. Delivery for what? What are you getting? Couldn't mount the BD sensor, couldn't get configs to work. Howie, sorry, I missed your message there a minute ago. So what I tried to do is I designed an entire carriage. So I made an entirely new carriage with different heat sets and a place to accept a BD sensor. Okay, so let's put this together. So I had this, right? And then I had a BD sensor that would go in here and it was adjustable up and down. Mounted it, got it all good to go, tore the carriage apart, put it back together with this carriage. And my BD sensor, for whatever reason, would not trigger appropriately. I have it right here. Sorry. So this one, I got my BD sensor right here. This was the probe. Okay, so this was mounted, and what it would do is this one just would not accept anything. There's a little light inside. There's a little LED that should have illuminated when I connected everything, telling me it was good to go. It would never illuminate. So I don't know if I had blown this one up at some point and just forgot that I broke it, but it didn't work. So I went to the stash and I got a different one, okay? And I connected this one to the Nighthawk, but I could not get it to trigger whatsoever. It would just remain red and it wouldn't change state. So it was fully triggered all the time, and when I would try to move it away or anything like that, it would never, go to an open state. So I don't know what's going on with this one, but it didn't work, at least not with a Nighthawk. And so I didn't have any other ones to test or any other options, so I went back to Clicky. A little disappointed. I would love to have had that, but it just didn't work out. Okay. So they call it excellent documentation. However, I don't see how that can be accurate because I did the things and I don't know how I should proceed. Calibrate your Z offset the old-fashioned paper way. I mean, I guess. Let's look over here. And we can do... It's parts for a semi-secret project. Ah, gotcha. Well, if it's semi-secret, can you semi-share it? I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this guy. So if you guys didn't see the video that I made, last week? Saturday, I think it was. Double secret probation. But I picked up this guy, this Doom Cube, and I want to refresh some of the parts on it. Probably change the color a little bit, but I need to figure out what that looks like and do a little bit of project planning to make sure that I've got all I need to be able to get this. Lucky? Yeah, I'd rather. So that's my superpower, John, is luck. Soon. Okay. Yeah, so I need to reprint some of the panel things and stuff. This door doesn't close quite right. It's skewed and difficult. You can see where it's rubbing down here on the lower part where these white marks are. So it's not fully aligned. The top will go in and then the bottom just kind of forces itself in. So maybe there's some adjustment to be had there. I could see the extrusion is off a little bit. And then overall, just give it a nice refresh. Remove the stealth burner and put something a little easier on there. So maybe this should be, I'm really wanting to turn this into a stealth changer. That would be fantastic. Are you supposed to be getting rid of printers and not getting more? What are you, my mom? Yes, you're right. I should be, but this was a great deal. I got this guy for $500. So tell me where else you get a Doom Cube for $500. And to be fair, I did sell off one printer. So we're back to where we started. This is not over and above what we were doing. We're right back to even. Cool. Paper test. All right. Paper test, even if you have an automatic Z probe. Got a paper. Sure, inspect the nozzle. It's clean. There's plastic, heat it up and clean it. Perform it when the nozzle and bed at room temperature. They are. The nozzle is heated. Its position changes. Okay. Use an automated tool to determine. Calico has several helper scripts available. Place the paper between. All right. So we'll come over here and see a virtual end stop is not supported for Z calibration. Do I need to remove that section then? I feel like I had a section in here for Z calibration somewhere. Do we need to have a printer intervention? It sounds like you're saying I could stop when I want. I'm not saying that, but we probably do need a printer intervention. No, I have this thing where I don't want to just put them in the garbage. I'd rather see them go to good homes. So if there are folks that are local to me here in Southern California, that could use a printer. Yeah, I'd like to find new homes for some of these. All right, that seemed to work. So just removing that. And then I think we just manual probe, I guess. Printers with automatic Z, be sure to calibrate the probe first. Yeah, we don't have it set up yet. Bed screws and traditional Z and stop. See the manual level document. So Z in stop calibrate. Okay, let's see if we can home. Should be able to. All right, that goes down. Homes to the rear. Those motors are not sounding great. So let's get ready to hit the emergency if we need to. I've got the clicky probe attached manually. Let's see if it works here. It did not, so I stopped it. Yeah, it didn't appear that it was going to stop. And so instead of breaking things, I just hit the stop button on it. But I can stop whenever I want. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can try this one more time. So X works. Y works. Knock the probe off because it's not correct. And then it can't. So I'm getting the error says probe attach failed. Yeah, it's because it knocked itself off the thing there because we don't have the accurate stuff. So what in the world do I do? How do I do a manual probe? These directions do not make sense. Yeah, so we changed all the stuff. All right, automatically adjust to any build plate. You only need to calibrate with one variable instead of the Z in stop pin and the switch. Easy to set up. I disagree. If you're currently using that, you need to disable it. Why change variable Z in stop to 0? Set to 0 if you have the probe moved to the center of the bed. I really don't understand what we're supposed to do here, guys. That screw in the front, it is wonky. It got bent a little bit. So these are integrated Z lead screws that I had sitting in the bottom drawer for the last, I don't know, year or so. And yeah, it's bent a little bit, so it is a little wobbly. It's not ideal. I need to order a new one. All right, what am I doing wrong here? I got to figure this out. Okay. So we have, all right, let's start back at the top here. Clicky variables has a thing to do, and then in my, a separate Z in stop switch is in use. Specify the coordinates. I feel like I saw that down in one of these sections. This guy. Yeah, so here, right? But it told me to make them 0. So they are 0. And then it asks a question that it doesn't answer. Comment out or replace your your stepper Z with probe Z. We've done that. Yeah, so we've done that here. And then set your probe offsets in the probe section. We've done that there. Calibrate your Z offset. That's the thing. It won't calibrate without the freaking probe working. So I don't understand how to do that. Well, let's see if I can just do under tools here. We could do maybe a manual probe. It tells me my Z is at 20. I don't have it attached. So that view's a little dark. I don't know why. This one's a little better. So we'll try a paper test here. Let's see if I can turn this down a little bit. Grab a slice of paper. Actually, I have a card. I have a little card that we can use. So I'll put that down there and then start to use the tool to take this down. So we get that relatively close. Try to. Ooh, okay. So we don't have the ability to get the. So our Z doesn't allow it to go below 2 millimeters. So to get around that limitation, come into where the position min is in our stepper Z here. So this section, stepper Z, position min, it only allows to go to -2. I'm gonna take it to like -10 to give myself some, actually let's go -15 just to be sure. Happy Sunday, Nozzle Clog. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Save that. And then do our manual probe again. So we're at -2 already. Let's see if we can go. Oh, maybe we have to save and restart. Hey, good morning, Chaz. Trying to get this damn legacy fork working today. I need this project finished. And I'm sure you all are looking for something new and different to talk about. So let's home all. Yeah, the resonance on those motors don't like going that slow, so we might have to home a little faster so I don't have to hear that thing buzz. Okay. So it believes that my Z is at 20 right now, but we know that's not really true. So just gonna manually move this down. Hopefully we'll get it pretty close. Nah, we can use our kinematic Z to be something else. All right, so I'm at -1 there. That's too tight. So we'll go back up 1 and start coming down by 0.1. All right, 0.05 now. All right, that looks about good. Okay, so we did that. Make sure to save to probe and not save to in-stop. Okay, so save to probe. Let's see if it'll let me do that. And we'll do save to probe. There was a button I could use under tools somewhere. There used to be like a save button in here. Either way, let's copy the Z, come over here, do this, clicky, clicky. It's pain until you get it working. Yeah, that's what I'm fighting through. Like, I've never used clicky before, Chaz, so I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do here. It is not doing what it probably should be. If your probe section is included, so it's got to be in the probe section. My Z offset is at 7 right now. I think it probably should be this. Home, then probe, calibrate. Yeah, so Steve, I think the issue is that we don't have clicky set up right now. I'm trying to do the clicky probe Z offset up here, and I'm trying to walk through these steps. So I'm changing my variables like it's asking me to. I get this random question that doesn't make any sense because there's no answer. And then I get all the way down to step 6, which tells me to do it the old-fashioned paper way. But we just did that, and I got a result. But then that result goes where? Like, there wasn't an option for me to save it to probe or any of that kind of stuff. So that did have an answer. Where's the answer? Why change it to 0 on both axes? I mean, where's the answer? So I just did step 6, but it didn't ask me to save it to save to probe or anything like that. Don't you have it docked first? Don't I have what docked first? My clicky is here because it's there, right? So we'll just put it back into the dock. But let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So if I home this, that's probably a bad idea. Don't do that. That's why we have the old bed on there. And that's stuck right now. So let's do a kinematic Z change. Where did my macros go? This guy. Let's move the bed down. Great. So now we should be able to home. The only click you used was on a printer already set up. It says to set it to 0 if you don't have a physical in stop. Otherwise, put the coordinates of that in stop. Right. I guess, okay. So that's confusing because it tells me to step 1, replace the lines with 0. And then it asks a question. And then there's some stuff that you copy here. I don't know why. It just seems out of order. Because I had that in here before. Right? So this is what it was before. And so it told me to change it to 0. And then it tells me that if I have the end stop, do something else. But this is also supposed to get rid of the end stop. So it's just weird, right? So you will only need to calibrate instead of Z end stop. So using the clicky probe as an end stop instead of having one. So that's where it's confusing. But we'll try it. Oh wait, you're probably using homing override for the clicky. Yes. Safe Z home, yes. Hey, Kenneth. But Steve's the master, so we'll listen and we'll try this out. All right, so here's the thing. This is not going to collect the clicky probe. I've been playing with this all morning, and you'll see what happens as soon as we try this. So to go home, it'll home X. And then it'll go try to get the clicky, but it doesn't pick it up. So maybe we need to change the other variables. And so I come back over here. And then I have to adjust all of these things. Pickup position is off. Yeah, I think so as well. But again, that's my issue, right? So I'm just starting at the top and going through. So when you start at the top of this, after the install, step 5 is the config. So you run through this. I do all this stuff, right? All this is good to go. And then the very next thing I see is this one, which is your Z end stop as a virtual Z end stop. Okay. So I go over to that documentation, and this documentation doesn't tell me to set up a probe location or any of that. So it just seems out of order. It's not congruent. But I think you're right. I think we do need to change the pickup position. Black PEI sheets suck. Yeah, so it's only on there because it's an old sheet, and it's not even a Voron sheet. This is a Bamboo Lab sheet. So this is one that the PEI is starting to come off and flake off and end up in my prints. So this is basically worn out. This has a couple thousand hours on it. And so I'm just using it so that we don't damage a brand new bed. But it's on here to provide some protection for the magnet. It's pretty easy to set up. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. We're fighting through it. Win 50 cents congruent. Yeah. Oh, that's one of my military words. Cool. So stepper Y, position in, stop Y. Yep, did all that. So let's adjust the pickup position. Let's just start here and see if we can get it working normally before we jump into this other whatever stuff over here. So we'll separate those out. We'll just go through this like we're not doing automatic Z and just get it working normally first, and then we'll try to get fancy later. Okay. One of the last things we need to do is adjust the probe pickup position. Would it help if I bring this down a little bit? I hope I don't start hitting my head on it, but I think if we move this down, it'll be a little easier for everybody to be able to see what's going on. So if I bring this camera down, to about there. Are we good? Try to do it slowly so I don't make everybody sick. Something like that. Okay, so now make sure that the X and Y axis are homed and the probe is manually attached to the mount. It is. We're good right there. It's manually attached to the mount. Yeah, don't Captain Kernus. I'm trying not to. I really need to get this project done. I need it printing so that I can move on. So ready to do something else. This has been a fun project, but it's been frustrating because we're getting a little bit out of scope on what the project should have been. Now manually move the tool head to the front of the probe dock. Adjust X so that moving along Y does not hit the dock arms. His spinning camera of death. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see that. That's why I didn't have the reference. Did he drop it or something and it just started spinning? Is that what we're saying? Okay. That thing is funny. Okay, so I'm going to try and just kind of move this in place. So X is home, Y is homed. I'm going to try my best to manually get this in the way and stay out of your camera view. But we're going to just try to move along the X so we can get in line with the probe there. So doing a rough 10 millimeters at a time. I mean, that right there looks about good to me. And that looks like X10. You know what he did? You got to view his shop 30 miles per hour in 5 rotations. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what he did either. I don't know what camera he's using, but that's funny. That's funny. My shop is a mess. Half the garage is just garage junk. And then the other half is me trying to keep a tidy workshop, but failing over and over again. That's why you see my backdrop the way it is. But cool. So that is the X. And then it tells us to just add that in. So see, you'll see the right side will hit the dock arm, left side you hit the dock arm. So split the difference. Your variable X is 17. I think my variable X is 10. And that goes into, what are they calling it? Variable dock location X. Variable dock location X. Here we go. So I had 14 before. Looks like 10 now. Can save that. And then yeah, variable dock location is 10. Yes. Now manually with G-code, move the tool head to the X dock location, Y max minus 40. Then again with G-code commands, move the tool head towards Y max. The probe and dock magnet can be a ½ millimeter away from each other. That is okay. They will attract when the probe is released from the mount. Move the tool head 40 millimeters to the side and check if the probe is docked securely. Hey, what's up, LTX? Your back panel worked out great. Thanks for sending those over. All right, if it does, perfect. Dock location Y is your current Y coordinate. It's most likely your Y max. Can't go back enough to dock. You need to increase the Y max or add a dock extender. Okay. So let's try it out. So I'm pretty much in line with the clicky right now. And so we'll just decrease the Y until we get to where we need to be. Right now I am at 227. We'll just go back one at a time until we pick this dude up. All right, looks like 240. 240 is where I'm at. And I got to move out of range because we tried to go 242, but looks like 240 is the number. So we'll come into our variables again, and 240 is what I had from before, so that checks. So the only thing that really kind of moved was our X location a little bit. Hey, Skyrim. We'll save and restart that while we continue along. Okay, find the dock location, edit those two lines. We've done that. Test now with the attach probe and dock probe. If it docks and is removed correctly, some common points that can give problems are some of these other things. We'll see what happens. And then if you have your dock mounted to the bed, you need to adjust that as well. We do not, so should be fine. Okay. Let's take this out of here. Let's do some home all. Oh, let's take that off of there. Put you back in the dock if I can. There you go. Oh, sorry, my head was in the way. It picked it up, but it picked it up like sideways. It didn't pick it up correctly. Get you back in there. Let's do what they say. They said the attach probe and the dock probe. So those are macros, and I have macros set up for those. So we'll do attach probe. It picks it up, but it moves diagonally instead of moving out away from the dock and then to the center. So it's picking it up like not on there correctly. I think that's really hard to see. Let's see if you can get a better shot from this one. No, it's not low enough. Let's try to move this guy down a little bit. Try not to give you the Captain Kern treatment here. But you can kind of barely see that it is picking it up, but it's not on there correctly. Man, I wish that light was better. I don't know what's up with this camera. Let's see. Is that better? You can see it's like on there sideways. Hey, Rajdi. Happy Sunday. And so if I correct it, like that is how it should be. And that's not really how it's working out. So let's see. Let's see if there's a troubleshooting issue for this. It's telling me that the dock magnet is touching the back probe magnet. Cannot touch, push them further in. That's not the problem. If it's hitting the arms, please move the tool head more to the side where the probe does not hit until it works. That's not the problem. Falling the dock is too far away. That's also not the problem. If you have your dock mounted to the bed, then you need to adjust the dock location. That's not the problem either. I did see something in the variables here that seemed like it might be what we need. All right, so there's a secondary move here. So this section talks about having secondary moves. So below this remark, you normally do not need to configure, but there's a second attach move, right? So intermediate toolhead movement to attach. Attach move and attach move too. Yeah, so DaVinci 10, I think we're on the same page. I think that's what I need. And so I need it to move out in the Y direction before it tries to come back center. Because right now it's picking it up and then going diagonally and just knocking the probe almost off. And so I think what I would need is like a negative, I don't know, 30. I'm just making this number up. I think that's correct. How many millimeters to move away from the X-in stop after homing? Yeah, that doesn't matter. Homing override, yeah, that doesn't matter. All right, let's try this. I'm going to remove this probe, put that back. And we'll give it a home all. You have to move that bed up here pretty soon. I'm about to bottom out. Move out of range. Yeah, so I'm getting a move out of range now. 270. So maybe it should not be a negative 30. Maybe it needs to be a just 30. Okay, we need to use our unsafe move tool to move this bed negative 50. Bring the bed back up a little bit. Every time we try to home, it moves down. And then when we fail, it stays down there. And eventually you get to the bottom and it doesn't work well. All right, let's see. Variable dock move Y50. Okay, let's give it a shot. We're all here together. Let's see. Variable dock move Y50. Variable dock move Y. Oh, this one here. Should I have this 40 on here for X? And then does that mean I don't need the attach to move? I can get rid of that. Variable dock move. All right. Variable dock move Y50. We have that. Moves 50 millimeters away from dock variable attach move. Dock variable attach move. I don't have that one. Yes, that's telling it has to be 50 away for docking and undocking. That's why it's moving diagonally right now. Okay, so I can get rid of the version 2 then, the attach move 2. Moves away from that variable move 50, moves 50 toward the dock to attach. Okay. Yes, got it. All right. Sorry, you're probably responding in real time, but Chad is not. So I'm trying to wait for you. Thanks for being helpful. Should be good now. Great. All right. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we are successful, because this is definitely a collaboration deal. Oh, that light. Give you something a little softer here. Okay. So homing all. Let's see. It's still moving diagonally. You refresh to make sure you're not behind. No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, it's still moving diagonally when it comes out of the dock, though. So it's not really helping. So maybe we do need that dock move too. That's all I can think of. So let's just try it. But now you're in ads. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can pause those. Ads definitely help the channel, but I can understand how they're frustrating if you don't have YouTube Premium. Let's try that. Move you back there. And see if we can do it. Why is it saying probe triggered though? Chrome has a free ad blocker. They do, yep. Yeah, so when it leaves the dock, it leaves at an angle. That is the problem. And I don't know how to change that. Brave has it built in. I've never heard of Brave though. Let's see if I can do something else. Where is this light coming from here? Okay, kind of lost. I don't know why it's coming out at an angle. Attach move. Final tool. Maybe this section? Final tool head movement to attach the probe on the mount. It's a relative move. So maybe this. Maybe that needs to be 50. Oh wait, do you have an XY cord in safe home? Should not, because safe home is not allowed when you have a homing override allowed. If I look down here, actually it's in variables, I believe. Let's look at macros, excuse me. So in clicky macros, there's an homing override here. And this is just standard stuff. This is all like macro type stuff. I didn't change any of this. And so with that there, it doesn't allow you to have a safe Z. So my safe Z is all commented out. Where did it go? Yeah, I don't even think I have one. I think I deleted it. Yeah, there's no safe Z. Yeah, so I'm thinking it has to do with this attach move. Like, I don't know what else it would be. Final tool head movement to attach. So maybe my dock move here should be 0 on the X then. And then this can stay 0. Maybe that's why it's trying to do it. So I'm gonna try that real quick. Sorry, my brain's starting to fire a little bit now, and I think this might be it. Famous last words. So let's check it out here. Home all. Yeah, this is Rhett's favorite lead screw right here. Mr. Wobbles. Pick it up. Well, still moving at an angle. That's the problem. It's just moving at an angle when it comes out of the dock. And every time it does that, it skews the probe. Yeah, I'm just so lost. Okay. Let's try yeah, I really don't know. So attach move X, nothing. So, I mean, it's got to be this. Dock move, final tool head movement to release the probe on the dock. So then it wouldn't be that. This would be here. And our final attach move would be this Y. Give that a shot. Is there any message in the console while it's picking up the probe? There are a couple of errors saying that the probe attach was not successful or something like that. That was it. That was it. 100%, that was it. Let's see if that homes now. Oh, nope, not good. Stop. Hey, we got it undocked though. That's cool. That's so funny. I think we still had our end stop commented out or something, and so it never stopped. Yay, we got it, but we also crashed pretty hardcore. That's so funny. Let's manually move these screws down a little bit. All right, so that's good there. Let's move this rear one down. All right, it's a little better. So I think we commented out our end stop and we forgot to put it back. So let's retrace our steps a little bit. So Steve, to answer your question, yeah, so this is what I did when I killed it, but I'm getting something like this saying that the, what is it, the probe is not attached or whatever. But that's it. So clip this. If you're getting a diagonal movement out of your dock, it is this attach move here. So this happens after the printer goes to the dock and then tries to remove the probe. It needs to know what you want to move to. And so for this one, I need it to pull directly in Y, no X movement at all. So just 50 millimeters relative to where it is, pulled out, and it seemed fine. So that's the catch. Switched over to BL Touch. I have not heard of the word BL Touch in a long time. Got it. You updated your notes? Yeah, so that secondary attach move is what it was. Cool. Now we need to figure out the end stop thing. So I think we changed some stuff trying to do automatic Z calibrate, and that did not really work for us. So maybe we could pick back up there now So this section here with our variable in stops or whatnot, because I believe that so we're still using the virtual here, and we have our probe section. It's good. Bed mesh. All right, so we're good. Now we can do this automatic Z calibration stuff. If you want to use the Z in stop switch of the Voron to calculate Z offset, use automatic Z calibration. Besides the macros from this repo, you will need to install the plugin. We'll do that here in a bit. But I think I made some changes. Oh man, what did I do? I don't remember now what we changed over here. I know we had changed these back. We reverted those to regular. But there were some other changes that I did on this. So these are back to normal. Maybe we commented this stuff out of the variables. No, it's there. In stop pin tells me to do the Z in stop. That's what it was. Let's get out of here. Let's go here. Let's go back to my Z stepper. Yep. So we'll do this. Put this back. There's our pin. In stop, something like that, I suppose. And save. Probes we didn't change. Okay, we'll come back to this guy later. All right. Before starting, from past mistakes, please remove your sheet. Yeah, we're using an old one. Warning, when you're doing probe accuracy, probe calibrate. Make sure the probe is above the bed. Probe accuracy macro does not move the tool head in X or Y. All right, so let's see if we can actually home now. Let's remove clicky and put it back in the dock. All right, let's see if we can home now. Gonna be a little more ready on the emergency stop this time. That thing crashed for a solid 5 or 6 seconds before I was able to get to it. All right, so there's our in stop. Seems like it works. Very good. All right, now let's see if we can attach probe. So come out to the middle. Let's attach probe here. Goes over, picks it up, comes out, comes to the center. Great. And then let's see if we can dock probe. Hey, look at that. Looks great. Let's attach it again and see if we can do our probe accuracy here. I think that's what Steve had recommended to us earlier. So under tools and fluid, you have a probe accuracy command. So where it is, it's just gonna continue to trigger. Yes, yes, no. That's not what you said. Oh, not probe calibrate now. You need to do Z in stop calibrate. Yes, I was just checking accuracy. You said that, but didn't know your physical Z. Yeah, clicky is so convoluted. That's the other 50-cent word today, Reth. Convoluted. I need to do Z in stop calibrate. Yes. Okay. So let's see. Z in stop calibrate. With my clicky probe or no? I'm $1 for the day. Oh, I've been in a lot of meetings lately talking about a lot of different things, and so I've been getting heavy jargon for the last 2 weeks. It's hard to turn it off. It's called if you haven't heard it, it's called code switching, right? So folks that are in your industry or at your work doing whatever it is, um, you speak to them using language and terminology in one way, and then when you're hanging out with your friends or your family or whatever, you use different terminology to speak to that group of folks. Code switching. Without clicky. Clicky ends up just being a Z-tilt and bed mesh probe at this point. I think that's what I should probably stick with for now. The automatic Z calibrate stuff I will get to. However, I was just getting lost in referencing multiple documents. And so getting it going the way that it is stock first, I think is the plan. So without clicking. Okay, so right now it says we're at 20. This is our paper test that we screwed up earlier. Eventually I'll learn how to be a professional at this stuff. And let's see if we can go down here. There's 9. Right, that's about as close as I want to get without touching stuff. You have to get going to prep. But remember, you put your 0 reference position. Oh, to put it. Got it. Yep. Thanks, Steve. You've been super helpful. I appreciate you. You definitely have more clicky practice than I do. And good luck with your stream. I'll check you out over there when I can. We are so close. All right. So let's go down a half, down a quarter. Very close. Feeling some drag there. That's about right. Right there. Cool. All right. So that is that. We're going to accept. You want BL touch due to being a glass bed? Yeah. The inductive probes didn't work well. No, they won't because the metal is a couple of millimeters below the glass. But what could work is something like Beacon. The new Beacon Touch works really well with pretty much any surface. I saw it demoed at Rocky Mountain last year. And then actually 2 years ago, I saw it demoed. And then I remember when we were doing the rat rig stuff that Beacon Touch was a thing. So may consider that one. Okay, so that works. We have our Z saved. So stepper Z position in stop is right there. We did the save config. And then he said, put my 0 reference position in the mesh settings. So let's do that before I do forget. I'm sure his message will get buried. It may already be there and I just don't remember. It's been a couple of weeks since we played with this thing. 0 reference position, bam, there it is. 135 and 120, which is about half of half of what we want. Cool. Hey, RJ. Good morning. I think we're getting pretty damn close to having this thing configured properly. Clicky was giving us some hell for the last hour or so, hour and 20 minutes. And I think we've got it working now. So this is kind of the first real test of what's going on. So we're homing Z just fine, using a Z end stop for now. Once I get the base level clicky probe stuff set up, we'll probably go to automatic Z. All right, so we homed just fine. And now if we do so we did a probe accuracy already. We just did a Z in stop calibrate. Let's do a probe calibrate now. Pick up the probe. Should come back to the center. And then should home. I'm ready on the E stop. Okay, looks like it's ask it nicely. Oh, Liz, I'm trying to be nice right now. We are so tired. I haven't slept in days. It's kind of been, you know, I crash out and get some sleep when I can get some sleep. And so it's kind of been sporadic. But yeah, we're highly caffeinated, highly motivated to be here. Okay, just checking in the clicky docs here. It says do the probe accuracy and the probe calibrate. I did the probe accuracy already. Probe calibrate should be next. How would I do this? Probe calibrate. So do I remove the clicky now and then do the paper test all over again? Does that sound about right? I'm not going to watch your video right now. Da Vinci, do you remember? Does that sound correct to remove the probe and then calibrate our Z offset there? Or how am I doing this? I don't remember. Let's see if there's anything in the Calico docs. Probe calibrate. Let's learn this together. Calculating probe Z offset. Okay, so probe Z offset. Calico probe calibrate tool can be used. It says run automatic probe to measure the Z trigger position and then start a manual probe to obtain the nozzle Z height. Shrimp daddy. So we home in the printer and then move the tool head to a position near the center. Okay, it's already done that. Run the calibrate tool. Okay, this tool, automatic probe, and then lift. Move the nozzle over the location of the probe point and start the manual tool. Doesn't do that, abort. Okay, once it starts, follow the steps described at the paper test to determine the actual distance between the nozzle and bed at the given location. So I think this is the same thing. I just need to remove the... Ask me after your coffee pot is finished. You want to probe calibrate, you can't remember if it checks first, if it's attached and goes and gets it. Yes, it did. So it went and got it. It's hanging out right now. I think I need to remove it and then basically do like another paper test. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. So so it already got its home with the clicky. We'll take that off right now. I'll just put that there. I'll get my leveling card back out. and see what this is going to do here. Because the paper test on this one is noticeably higher. It's already 28, whereas we started with 20 on the other one. Try to stay out of your shot as much as I can. That's about good. We'll accept that. Save config. All right. Are we good now? Is that what that means? Let's put this guy back in here. Are we able to print with some stuff? I don't know. All right. I think that means we're done with setup at least. I did probe accuracy. I did probe calibrate. Snowing. Oh, wow. You're doing make sure the probe is above the bed. Probe accuracy macro does not do whatever. Okay, so before starting the test, please remove your sheet if possible. Do it with all these things and enjoy. Okay. I mean, are we done now? If you want to start using it. What are we reading? Oh, this is the other thing. I don't want to do this yet. Yeah, that's the other one. We'll come back to that. All right. Let's see if I can do a home all. And then we'll try to do a bed mesh. Ooh, yeah, Z-tilt. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I just want to make sure things are moving correctly. Paper nozzle gapping always reminds you of feeler gauge. Yeah, so realistically, that I'm basically using a feeler gauge. I'm using a metal card as my leveling. Even at the bottom of it, it's like this card can be used as a 0.2 shim for Z offset. What's up, Jose? Thanks for being here. And always home Z after Z tilt as it changes. Yes, correct. All right, so that is good to go. Now let's see if we can do, what would you say, a Z tilt, right? So we'll do our Z tilt adjust button. That's not supposed to happen. Just trying to do it without the probe. And luckily it gave us the probe triggered prior to movement. Okay. So our Z tilt needs like some sort of change in there to be able to pick that probe up before it does the Z tilt adjust. I thought that was in the macro, but I could be wrong. Attach, lock, dock. Let's see if there's anything in here about Z tilt. No. All right, so let's do attach probe. All right, and then we can do let's do a home Z. Oh, you putting it back? All right, there's definitely some macro setup that needs to happen. What I would want is my Z tilt adjust to go and grab my I would want it to home first, grab the probe, and then come and do Z-tilt adjust. But it is not doing that right now. All right, so we'll do that. Let's attach. Okay, so we're there. Let's see if it'll Z-tilt now. Okay, so I do that. It's coming over, touching. It's pretty accurate. Like we're within 0.001. The points might need to adjust just a little bit, but that's okay. So that one out of range. What was that? That's weird. 220. Oh, yeah, so we got to adjust the points. So out of range at the 220. So what do I have for my bed points? Just trying to go 220 and 5. But 5 is not working. And I know that I need this to come over in that second point, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust that while we're here. We'll do that on X. 195 seemed fine. Okay. What do I have for my X travel? 215. Because we're using A5T. I think this original macro was set up for A4T, which is a little bit more narrow. A little bit more narrow. So we'll change this down to 215. That should be good there. Close that, save and restart. Here. Do you have an include Z-tilt adjust config? I do. Yeah, it's down here at the bottom. Under macros. Or sorry, it's under this probe config, I think. Yeah, so here's my Z-tilt adjust config right there. And then if I look at that, I don't know why I didn't see it in here. Hey, Kitchell. Haven't seen you in a while. How are things? Attach, dock, probe calibrate, accuracy, override. Umbilical, home Z, park. Yeah, but there's not a Z-tilt anywhere. Oh, this guy is off the screen. Yeah, so this is my Z-tilt adjust. This says G90 attach, Z-tilt adjust dock. But it doesn't try to home Z before it does that. Should have a simple macro, rename existing, attach probe, Z-tilt adjust base, dock probe. Yep. So that's basically what this is here. So we have that included. Okay, so let's see if this will home. So we made a couple changes to the probe points. The home X and Y. I'm going to dock the probe, which is great. So some of the macros are working there. And then it goes to home Z, which is fantastic. That's what I wanted. Great. And then if I Z-tilt adjust, it should be running the macro that's in the oh man, what am I trying to say? The macro in the Z-tilt adjust config, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. it just tries to go right into it without grabbing the probe. So I'm wondering, because we are running Calico and there are a couple of extra things in here that are not standard, I'm wondering if our issue is this right here. So the Z-tilt NG. And if it's the NG version of that, it may be messing with it because it wants to do something else. So let's take a look here. We could just make it a normal Z-tilt. No sound. No sound for what? I'm seeing music, I'm seeing mic. What do you mean no sound? What happened? Did I hit a button? I don't know how I just did all of what I did here. We'll go back to it. So if I do that and then we get rid of this and make it just a normal Z-tilt and save that, I wonder if that'll work. Yeah, I don't know, Kenny, maybe you lost sound. Check your speakers. You can hear my sweet voice. Yeah, it's just you, Kenny. I think we're all good over here. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on? We could ride our BMX bikes. All right. So let's see if this will work now. Let's home everything. This is how it goes. You change one thing and then you got to go back and change more and more and more. Oh, by the way, there is a giveaway today. So if you guys haven't already signed up, friendly reminder, it's in the description. You can go in there and fill out the form and hopefully you get to take home some LDO filament. That's US only. US only. So in about 20 minutes, we'll do that. And then we'll see how far we can get on these macros before I need to wrap it for today. All right, so now if I do Z-tilt, will it work correctly? No, it does not. That's okay, we're gonna press. Let's see if I can attach probe. So I wonder if it is just picking up, if it's picking up some configurations, that's the word, configurations from the BD sensor. Says you already responded? Then you probably did, LTX. Let me check for you real quick. I can see the list of names over here. And seeing 40 responses. And LTX, you are there. So you should be good to go. I guess you and your son are on the same schedule. He's playing his Nintendo. Shouldn't be an old form. I just refreshed it this morning, so you guys are already there. Think it's an old form? It should not be an old form. It's a new link, and I removed all the responses. So I'm not sure how it could be a old form. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I definitely deleted all the names and put stuff. So I don't know. You never signed it today, but it says you responded. Okay, well, I will do some research after this to see what we can get going. Stop shaking the table. Okay. Well, that is good to go. We have that. Let's see if we can Z-tilt. Sorry, I got distracted there. So probe point 1 looks good to go. I could probably move that a little to the left here. Probably move it 20 millimeters to the left. That one is much more in the center, but it could probably go to the left, I don't know, 10. And then this one is the one that we were worried about. That one's actually pretty good. Ooh, and it adjusted. Nice. Turn off your VPN and clear the cookies. Yeah. Figure it out after stream here. I may just need to make a whole new form. But again, that's for something after that. Ooh, I don't like that it just moved and did not raise a little bit before it started to do something else. Horizontal move Z can't be less than the probe's Z offset. That's the error I'm seeing right now. So can't be less. Do I have another horizontal probe Z in here? Oh, yep. How did that get back to 1? That doesn't make any sense. That should be 10. Okay, so is there another one? Adaptive horizontal true, sure. That one's 10. That one's 10. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, I think I just really need to change this macro. That's all I can imagine right now. Is that this macro is just not correct. Let's home all. Should dock the probe. So we go over, we dock, no issues. Come back to center. And then home Z on the end stop. Great. Now we can attach that probe. Perfect. Come to the center. Now we'll do our Z-tilt adjust here. Yeah, I'm thinking it has something to do with our BD sensor that I tried to get installed because I am seeing some unknown command stuff in the console that talks about a BD sensor. And like I said, I tried to get that installed. It just didn't work out. They were both dead. So I might need to just go back in and remove and just reflash some MCUs at some point. Cool. And then home Z again, which is great. So then we can dock the probe here after that finishes. don't know what's going on, but I've got like a shake in my camera, and that is not me. That must be the printer. All right, we're gonna ignore that. Let's dock the probe. Okay, docked. And then let's see if we can do a bed mesh calibrate. I wonder if we're gonna have errors here too, because I did not change this for an A5T. Let's see what we have in the config. Yeah, so it's going to try to go to 220, but it won't get there because the limit for X is 215. Yep, so we just got the error. Just hacking through it, guys, hacking through it. One thing at a time, making little adjustments as we go. This is how it goes when you're building this kind of stuff. All right, homing good. Let's get our probe out. It's so funny. The P2S is printing off to the side here. And I don't know if it's coming through the floor because it is definitely not touching the table that the camera's installed on, but it's got that camera like shaking. All right, that's that. Z tilt adjust. All right, cool. Good there. Yeah, very repeatable clicks on this one. It's like 001 is the tolerance. That's crazy. And then we can do our dock probe. Okay, good to go there. Now let's do our bed mesh calibrate and see if this will actually work now. If this works, we should be able to see a bed mesh. All right. So I guess while this is going, as soon as we can get past this most furthest right point, I definitely don't think we need a 5-point bed mesh here, so we'll have to adjust that one as well. Yeah, so this move is still out of range by 1 millimeter. That's wild. Okay. So we got to make another little bit of a change there to the bed mesh. It's out by 1 millimeter, so if I just made this 214 instead, should be good. Do a bed mesh calibrate? No, we got to home first. Hey, Icon. Trying to get through some clicky probe setup here. So it's like try a thing and then you get an error, and then try something else and you get an error. And so we're just hacking through that kind of stuff to see what that looks like. As soon as we get a bed mesh, though, I think I'm going to try and print something. So we'll see. We'll see. With that said, though, I need some ideas on what we want our first print to be. Something small that maybe takes, 10 minutes or something. It'll be tight on time. So I'm trying to be done by 10 o'clock here, maybe 10:05. All right, good to go there. Let's do Z-tilt. Oh, that's right. We got to attach first, because our macros are messed up. Just unpacking stuff in a new place. Firmwareon. I don't think I've seen that. Firmwareon, that sounds cool. What's the size on that guy? Try for 1007. Yeah, shoot for 1007. Yeah, we're supposed to go get breakfast. My mother-in-law's been in town since Wednesday, so we spent the day out yesterday with my daughters doing stuff, and then supposed to go get like brunch, leaving here about 10:05 or so. So as soon as I'm done here, we're gonna go jump in the car and go get some brunch. Yeah, that like drags it doesn't lift when it's finished Z probing or Z tilting, and it should. Fully 3D printed 100mm linear rail core XY. Only change you're doing is adding a heated bed. Buddy of yours CNC to bed for it. Nice, dude. So is it a 100mm build area? Oh, I missed it. Here we go. 70mm build plate. Wow, that's tiny. Yeah, you're probably doing benchies and nothing else, yeah? That's kind of like the antithesis that I have. It's basically a postcard size 3D printer. So what is that, like 130 by maybe 70mm is the size of that thing, but the bed is Core XY. So it's really interesting and cool. It's been a little while since I played with it though. May have to do some of that soon. 140 watt USB Type-C, what? No, that's super cool, man. Like, I like little stuff like that. You'll have to drop me a link so I can check it out. Yeah, I've got, this is a 250, right? Hey, success on that. This is a 250, but this is still a large printer that I don't get to play with every day. It's built to live on a rack. So if there are no smaller little projects, it takes up a lot of space really fast. And with a couple of 300s and 350s in the room, I don't have a ton of space. 130 watt, okay, even worse. Yeah, when I eventually rebuild the V0, which is still in whatever the initial release was, 0.1, it's still clad in 0.1 clothing. When I rebuild it to a 0.2 or whatever the new V0 spec is going to be, I think I want to make it run off a power brick like that. That way I can free up electronics underneath and then just put my main board under the bottom instead of having it on the backside. I don't know, it's just a thought. Has the A5T been released or still in beta? It's still in beta, but it is an open beta, so you can get the link for it by going here. So if we just come in and search A5T, you can go to Suzuki's GitHub here, and I'll post this as a link for you. So you can go there, and 3 weeks ago was the last change. But you got to be cautious because it doesn't support every hot end. And right now, I think it's set up for Sherpa, but it'll accept whatever A4T extruder mount you want. So there's a configurator, obviously, and you can just go on shape and pull it down. So looks like the TZ hot end and the Tube Compact is what it supports, unless you want to modify it yourself. The CAD model is on shape for you to pull down. So should you drop the Q? DM on Discord is better. I don't know that YouTube's going to allow you to post anything. Recently redid your V0 with Tulip. Yeah, that's what I want to do as well. Custom UFO Kirigami. And NEMA 17. Dude, those are all the same things I want to do. Those are all the same things I want to do. Well, hey, the bed mesh worked. A5T's cool running it on your V2. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's very cool. It's wide. She's a thick girl, but I like that. Okay, so save config and restart. Yeah, A5T is probably not the best for this mod though, because it does eat up some of your X travel. So normally this would be a 250 bed on a 250 Trident. However, this is so wide, and the way that the joiners on the XY are, designed, the bolts on the fans touch the joiner, limiting the travel. So you saw that I had to limit down to about 215 on the X so that we don't run into anything. And so I'm losing 35 millimeters of X travel just by using A5T. I could put an ant head on here and get that back, but this is a developmental platform. It's just to try weird stuff. Your V2 is a 350, but you're only getting 330. Yeah, so that's the downside. You're gonna lose some X travel, but you get amazing cooling. Okay, so we did that, and we can do. Oh, so monolith. Okay. All right, I think it is giveaway time. If you haven't filled out the sheet in the description to get into the giveaway, you should probably do that pretty soon. I think once this gets going, I'm going to do my best to try to kick off a quick print. Rigged? It's never too early to be rigged. I mean, according to some folks, they're already signed up before we even streamed today, so it probably is rigged. Is Tube Compact the same spacing as Dragon Ultra High Flow? Yes, it's the same spacing as Dragon period, not just Ultra High Flow. So Rapido spacing, Dragon spacing are the same. Tube Compact is also the same. Yours says you already signed. Yeah, so that's what some folks are saying, and I don't know what's going on with the form or whatever. But if you're already signed up and you're here, then you're signed up. Saved you a step. You're welcome. Yeah, there's still a lot of config to do on this thing. There's some changes I want to make already to some of the macros for quality of life. We still got to get the LEDs working. I think the bed fans are working. I've got to figure out click-clack door. The screen down below doesn't work because we're also using 2240 drivers, which uses the same SPI bus as the screen would use. So you can't use both. I didn't know that when we were building. And so if I want a screen on here, I need to either use a touch screen with a ribbon cable or go headless. And right now, I think I would go headless because I honestly don't use much of the stuff. Icon, thank you. I will check it out. Need some 24-volt lights for the V0. No, I don't remember talking about that, but I have some light sticks for it. Okay, so that's good. Let's dock this and we'll start this giveaway stuff. So everything is homed. We are good to go. Let's do a giveaway. Let me bring everything over. So I've got 48 responses. You folks have about 30 seconds for me to pull names. So Kegel was first in. Nice. I don't know if everybody on this list is here. I don't remember seeing everybody. So yeah, I think the list is probably messed up. Interesting. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. All right. And I need to turn off chat so we can see what's going on. Let's hide that for a second. Put all these names in here. Yeah, good luck. It says you've already responded, but you haven't. Yeah, Cybertech, you're in here. So we're having some issues with the form. And I noticed that when I went to pull names, like some of these names are in here from before. I don't know why, but you are right there. So don't worry about being in. If it says that you've already signed up, then you're definitely in here. The thing I am more worried about is that there are going to be a lot of folks on here that are not here today. So how many folks do we have to get through before we find someone that's actually here? Regardless, we'll deal with it. So how many times are we going to spin it? Good luck to the old list. Yeah, good luck to the old list. I didn't have the way to go and remove all the old people and then reinstate everybody that's here today and re-signed up and all that kind of stuff. It's not worth it to try and figure that out. Today's your day. It may be. I'm seeing 8s and 4s and 5s right now. Kenny wants one spin. I think we should just do 5. I'm seeing a couple of 5s. And no one else really... Oh, there we go. And 13. A bunch of 13s as well. And yeah, and smash the button. Make sure we like the stream so I can continue to do this. If nobody likes the stream, LDO doesn't give filament away. So, you like your chances. Thanks for the sub, John. Okay, we're doing 7 then. And spin. $3D Medic Vance. You've got 69 seconds to respond. 3D Medic Vance. I haven't seen you chat yet today, so this may be one that's not actually here. And I'll figure out this form thing afterwards. We're definitely going to stream tomorrow, though. I got to get through some macros and stuff today, later. All right, 3D Medic Vance, are you here? I'm not seeing you. Yeah, it is great. Jose, like you can see behind me, I like my ambrosia, right? I really do. But I have not enough LDO filament. I see 3 spools kicking around. I need to get some more. You guys have some unique colors. Same bat time. No, Kenny, I think I need to go, because it's a Monday, I think I probably need to go at 8 a.m. instead of 7:30. So it'll be slightly later, but not too much. Some of that monolith purple and plum pink. Exactly, same. All right, 3D Medic Vince, your time is up. Sorry. Let's, I'm just going to keep clicking this until I finish talking, and then once we get done talking, we'll click spin. Icon, thanks for the message. Yeah, so Kenny, I think we're going to go like 0800 Pacific time, so about 30 minutes later than where we are. X Kazdrisky? Oh man, that's hard to say. After PT, want some more of it? Yeah, so same for me, after PT. Yeah, I'm usually at the gym from like 6 to like 7:15 or so. Hey, there you are. Great, congratulations. So what's going to happen is I'm going to email the LDO team. They're going to reach out to you directly via email to get your address and color that you want of ABS. And then Jason will take care of all the shipping and all that kind of stuff, all right? So if you don't hear anything from the team within just a few days, reach out to me, either Discord or shoot me a YouTube message or something. Let me know that I am wrong and didn't send your info over, because that's probably what happened, right? So congratulations to you. And the other rule is, if you're not in the Discord, in my Discord, you have to jump in there, because I want to see what you printed with your winnings. You got to show me what you made. So congrats to you. All right, let's get back to work here. Let's see if we can get something going. Yeah, everything's docked. Everything is homed. I feel like we should be able to slice something. I feel like we can slice something. Let me see. Are we able to... Ooh, I don't have it open yet. Hold on. Can we see the mesh? Yeah, no problem. Let's look at that. I meant to show you. Let's see. This. Load. There's your mesh. Looks pretty flat to me. Uh, 0.033 is your range. Yeah, that's pretty damn flat. You have just like a couple of little spots there. Yeah, that's really good. Of course, you're going to say LDO filament is great. But it is, though. It is really great. My switch wire is half LDO filament. Jealous of my mesh? It makes me think of the Pussycat Dolls song, Don't You? Don't you wish your mesh was as flat as mine? Working on some mounts for the BD sensor. Nice. Right, let's get the slicer open here. There we go. And we need to build a profile, because I don't have one. And let's see, let's create a printer. No. Let's add a printer. Here. This probably can't see that. Thanks for the sub, John. Yeah, you can't see the additional menu that's coming up, but I'm just looking in here for a Voron Trident 250. And we're going to add that because it should be the same. Cool. There's our Trident 250. I've got some ABS, some PLA, because we are not enclosed. Yeah, bamboo, let's call it just regular PLA basic. It's some pink stuff. I have not tuned any profiles or anything. Let's just gonna go with it, see what happens. Should make one that's affordable for people like you. Make one what? Are you saying the filament's not affordable? I feel like it is. It's like 24 bucks. I'm really waiting. Oh, eddy current sensor. Yeah. I don't know. BD sensor is pretty good. I use it on the antithesis, no issues. I think this other one just got blown up somehow. I don't know. All right, let me add on a, let's just do like a cube or something. We could do a, yeah, we'll just do a simple cube. Why not? And slice it. And I need to set up the Wi-Fi for this printer. See if we can connect. And yes, we can. All right. There's our cube. It's about 30 minutes based on what it's showing in here. But that's with some random stuff I don't want. So let's go 2 walls. We'll do 3 up here, down here. Crosshatch. Sure. These are stock settings. No changes to anything, and it's still like 30 minutes. So I want to scale it a little bit. I don't have quite that much time. So let's take it down to a 20 millimeter cube. Thanks for the sub, Mike. You're also working on modding the Big Tree Tech Eddy for some better mounting. Yeah, dude, I think the BD sensor is probably pretty damn good. The only challenge you're going to run into is with this little module here that has all the brains in it. You have to figure out a way to put that somewhere. This is already a mount for the BD sensor. I can send you this CAD if you're looking for something that will mount to a Voron style carriage. I've got this. This you could essentially sort of like jam in here somewhere, and hopefully that clears what you're trying to clear, but you can clip it to the back of the carriage if you wanted to. There's some flexibility on where you mount that, but you got to have a mounting space for that one. Okay, so 14 minutes for this one. Let's send this over. And get her heated up here. You found that one? No, this is mine. You didn't find this one. I designed this one before I found out that there was one that already existed. Working on incorporating into the toolhead. Yeah, I spent like 4 hours redoing the toolhead on this legacy fork, and then it turned out to not work. I was so angry. Let's get the bed heated up. Probably need about 60 on the bed. And I realize we're still using the old sheet. That should be fine. Should not matter whatsoever. I'd rather tear up this one than my new one. Ooh, that covers the end stop. That's not good. Sideways. There we go. All right. Bed is heating up. Feels like it's getting hot. It's good. Let's get the hot end up to temp. Let's go to 20 here. Hot end fan comes on, which is great. Your module is like 3 feet away from the BD. How'd you do that? Did you just cut it and splice it? I guess that's an option if you wanted to. You could cut the main wire and splice something in and do it that way. It's a good idea, RJ. All right, so that's getting hot. Hey, Havoc, good morning. What'd you miss? Everything. We've been fighting with Clicky for the first hour, but we're moving now. Things are homing right. We just did a bed mesh, which is pretty flat. You can see that in the bottom left corner there. Heating up the hot end. Bed's getting hot as well. I need to load in some filaments. I'm gonna grab some off the rack up here. Try to feed this in through my tube. Actually, let's do it a different way here. Just grab some down, flip you out. I've not figured out a filament tube mounting system yet to hold this tube up against the frame. So I just need to print something for that. But I wanted to get the panels and everything on first before I commit. We've not tuned E-steps or any of that stuff. Ooh, also I'm using this really cool star pattern PTFE tube. I've had some that I got from West 3D a while ago, and it seems like it works pretty good. I don't know if this is actually going in there or not, though. Let's see. Let's put a little taper on the end of this. All right. That goes in. There we go. Much better. Now it's in there. Push out some of that yellow filament that we were using on a different machine. All right, put that in there. Put it back on. Don't forget to lock your extruder or it won't extrude. This little print is cool. This keeps the PTFE tube down where it should be, so it's not rubbing on your top panel. I've gone to using something like this, at least initially, until you train this tube to be where it needs to be. Because on the Trident, the top hat is so low that you can rub the plastic and put sort of scratches and stuff in your acrylic, and it just looks ugly. It still works fine, but it doesn't look too great. So, whatever. Okay. Good on that. We are having filament come through. Let's make sure we're actually going in the correct direction, though. Filament is wrapped around the holder. Yeah, we're not done all the way yet. Hold on. This is why I need a better solution here. Plus, my tube is a little bit long, but I appreciate the reminder. Yep, good to go there. Let's see if I can extrude any at all. Come back up here. And let's extrude, I don't know, see if we can get 20 millimeters out of it. I mean, it's moving. Just don't know that it's grabbing anything or not. Let's try that one more time. May have to do some E-steps here. I mean, I see it pulling in the filament, but I don't see anything coming out. And now it's clicking. That's strange. All right, let's see what's going on here. It's still hot, so it's not that it cooled down. Oh, what the hell? So is it pulling itself out? We might be going the wrong direction. Let's see. Let's see if I extrude on that. Will it? Yeah, it's going the wrong direction. So we'll have to just invert the extruder here. No problem. Let's get over in the config. Grab our extruder section. See if we can invert. So dir pin is for direction. We'll put the bang in front of that and save and restart and get all of our things heated up again. I hope that macros are set up because we absolutely did not do that. And if we're unable to print today, that's fine. We'll get as far as we can on setup and then we'll print tomorrow. All right, let's check our extruder now. Let's see if we can extrude. Yeah, now we're doing well. That's what we wanted. Sweet. Come on, give me that sweet blue. All right, look at that. It's coming out just slightly green. There's still some yellow PLA in there from the last testing I was doing on this hot end in a different machine. But it's coming out really nicely. All right. So that's that. I definitely need to make sure our macros are set to what I want it to be, and then we have to make sure our config is what it's supposed to be. So again, the macros I like to use are the better print start macros, and I've adjusted them to be more in line with what this printer needs. So things like Z-tilt are already set up in here. So like this. And then if I remember right, I need to add in here attach probe. And then it'll do the Z-tilt. And then it'll home Z again. And then just to be sure, I need to detach the probe. Bed mesh adaptive, yes. Sounds good to me. And what's the name of this? Print start. And I don't like that. I think it should be print end. Or actually in print. Yeah, that. No, I don't know why this one appears backwards. Print start. Like it should be start print then, right? Because I definitely did not set any of that up in our G code on the printer itself. It's called print start in the G code though, and then end print. Is that what we had? Yeah, we're gonna change this one to print end, like that. All right, now that those are good, see how ugly we can get this thing. I just have a rough number for our E-steps on there. Preview. All right. So it's just a rough number of 5.7, I think, for rotation distance is what I have. We'll see if that is what we need or not. All right, let that cool just a little bit. Let's get this going. So let me slice again. Where's my slicer? And print, upload and print. So it looks like it's trying to go. Let's take you back over here and we'll walk through it. See what's going on. All right, so things are heating up. Bed is going to 55. We had it at 60, so it's slightly cooling. The extruder is going up to 220. Let's add our collet clip on there. It's 10 o'clock right now, so this is about the time we need to be wrapping up. But we'll see. For good and bad things about the star pattern, in theory it makes sense, but you hear a lot of saying it actually jams up. This is my first time. This is the first printer I have the star pattern PTFE on. So if it's good, I'll tell you. If it's not good or I'm having issues, I'll tell you about that too. I tell you, like feeding it in seemed fine. I didn't have any issues of it getting bound or anything like that. So far so good. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't heat the nozzle first to home. So that's okay because it makes the filament soft if there's anything on there, but it probably doesn't need to heat all the way to 220. Probably make it soft at like 150 or so. All right, so that's happening. It's getting to temp. Just trying to settle. Yeah, probably need to go back in and calibrate the MPC. Basically PID tune the hot end again. I did put my tube sock on there because it came in the mail. And that could be holding some extra heat, and so it doesn't think that it is at temperature yet, unless it is waiting. Oh, that's okay. I'm seeing, yeah. Sorry, I look in the wrong place. So it's soaking the bed for 5 minutes, which is weird for PLA, but we'll take it. So RJ, you said a minute ago, you said your BD sensor was like 3 feet long. What version is that? Like, where'd you get yours? Because that's not what I had. My sensor portion, I'll use this one because it's close. So this is the sensor portion here, the black piece. That in between where the little PCB is, maybe 6 inches or so. The one that I got from Mello, that is not this one, about the same. So if you're saying that the sensor is 3 feet from this portion, where did you get yours where it's different? Because that is not my experience. I bet he's got. I don't know what you're saying. It'd be cool if there was a countdown timer on this thing. so that you knew how much longer you had for the bed to heat. You can't see. Oh, version M. Got it. He has the version M. Maybe. I've not seen the version M though, so I'll have to check that out. BD sensor is kind of cool. It's cheaper than a beacon, but it does lack some extra capability that the beacon has. So beacon can do beacon touch. It's got a temperature sensor in it. I think the new cartographers even come with like an ADXL built into them. So that style, you get a lot more features, but you're going to pay a little bit more than a BD sensor as well. But the BD sensor is smaller, so it probably works on something like this a little easier. I don't know. I bet you if we mounted it off to the side over here, like just like a little kick out and had it mounted here, maybe it would work a little better. I don't know. Because I had it underneath where the clicky probe is right now, and I had assumed that the clicky probe, I'm sorry, the BD sensor was picking up the linear rod or the bearing underneath. And so maybe that's why it was triggering. So I didn't throw it away, but the other one I tried just completely did not work. So instead of redesigning the entire carriage, even more hours in CAD, I just decided to revert back to clicky on this one. And realistically, that was the intent of the project from the start. So we'll go with it. 35 bucks. Yeah. 35 bucks is not bad at all. And now they have the version 4 as well. So even version 4 of Clicky Pro, or sorry, not Clicky, but Cartographer is very attractive. I've got one around here somewhere. Version 4. I don't know where it is exactly. Oh, hey, look at that. Speaking of BD probe, here's another one. Just chilling, hanging out. I didn't even know that was down there. You guys feel like this is the longest 5 minutes ever? You have one in the Micron that you're finishing up today. Nice. John, what color scheme did you go with? All right, so hot end's going to 150 now for some reason. Here we go. Now we got some movement. What's happening? Now we're going to pick up our probe and come over here and Z tilt. Yep. Yeah, my Micron has not been used in quite a while. I should probably use that guy a little more than I do. It needs a rebuild into the R1 version. Okay, but what is happening here? Seeing that same error that we saw before, the horizontal move Z can't be less than the probe's Z offset. I don't know where that's coming from or what that is. I have a feeling it has something to do with this BD sensor command that it's trying to run. But to make that go away, I have to basically reflash Clipper, standard Clipper, onto both the Nighthawk and the main board in the printer. So it doesn't say that the file stopped, but it does say that it canceled. So I don't know that we're going to be able to print today, guys. We nearly got there. We nearly got there. So that just means we get to do it tomorrow. So we're actually gonna wrap stream on time. I'll work on this tonight, maybe a little bit in the morning, and get it a little closer to be able to just print something. But that'll be good. I don't like to start a stream and then not be able to print. You know what I mean? So hopefully on the next one tomorrow, we'll get a couple of hours to tweak and tune a little bit, talk through the project, recap a little bit, all that kind of stuff. So that said, all 28 of you still hanging out for the duration. Thank you so much for supporting and being here. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the shout outs. Those that have reached out to me privately, thank you for doing that, checking on me and things. So we're getting back to the normal grind a little bit before we take a break in mid-April. So again, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for hanging out for the duration. Thanks to the winners, and thanks to LDO for sending out filament every single time we stream. It's great to have a supporter and get folks into that ecosystem to try out some good ABS. So Jose, thank you everyone. Have a good day. This will get posted later. Liz, see you tomorrow. Fresh eyes and coffee, absolutely. I'll probably jump into your stream here in a little bit as well. So thank you all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.